Welcome to our live training session here with our Honda Civic Si. We're going to learn how to calibrate and tune this vehicle using a Link G4x system. Let's jump into some details about our vehicle. We're going to find it has a K24 swap that's been performed on our EP3 chassis along with a 6-speed transmission that's been mated to the K24 engine. Now the engine was completely rebuilt before it was swapped into the car. We have 12.5:1 compression pistons, aftermarket connecting rods, we have upgraded valve train, a 50-degree VTC gear, and K20 camshafts. We also have a Type S oil pump that allows us to rev much higher than the stock K24 oil pump at limits about 7,600 RPM. With the Type S pump, we can go to about 10,000 RPM. Now we're not going to rev it that high because we don't have camshafts that are going to carry power up that high, but we have the capability of being able to potentially go that high if we choose down the road. Now, on the intake side of things, we have a Skunk 2 Ultra Street intake manifold, Skunk 2 throttle body, and a cold air style intake. On the exhaust side of things, we have a race header with a catback exhaust. It's about a 2.5-inch exhaust. Now on the fuel system side of things, we have an upgraded in-tank fuel pump, we have RDX 410cc injectors, and we have a flex fuel sensor mounted in the feed line within our fuel system so that we're able to do a flex fuel based tune. We also, in addition to this, have an AEM X series wideband that's been wired into our Link G4X. We also have a fuel pressure sensor that's also been tied into our Link G4X system. We're going to learn how to calibrate and tune this vehicle in both 93 octane as well as ethanol based fuel, doing that flex fuel based tuning. We have a ton of things to cover here. Let's jump into our tutorial so we can learn how to create our base map and get our calibration process started. Welcome to our live training session here with our K24 swapped Civic Si. In this tutorial, we're going to focus on creating our base map, specifically looking at setting up our basic configuration details and our inputs and outputs. In the next tutorial, we're going to dig into setting up our tables, so fuel and spark timing tables, variable cam control, idle control tables, and many, many more tables that we need to configure. We want to keep this basic and start off with the most important details, which is getting our sensor configuration right, as well as our outputs, as well as our configuration details. So the engine displacement, the number of cylinders, things of that nature, we need to go and program for our Link. What we're going to do here is open up a plug and play base file from Link because we have a Pro plugin option here. So this is going to be the plug-in board that goes right into the ECU case, plugs right into the engine harness. Now this isn't a swapped car in the sense where we're putting a K-Series swap into an older Civic and retrofitting. This car was K-Series based, so the ECU here is fully plug and play into the EP3 chassis. Now, if you're going in and running a swap car, it's not going to really make a difference in terms of any of the programming details here. So just be aware that this can be used for not only an RSX or an EP3, but other swap vehicles. Doesn't matter if you have it on in a S2000, for example, or if you put a K-swap in an NSX, or if you put a K-swap in a BMW. People put K-swaps in everything anymore. So this ECU is able to plug into an OEM harness with the OEM connectors on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is open up our specific plug and play file for this box. Let's do that in the PC Link software, and then we're going to start to modify that file here and take a look at the process. So what we're going to do is move in here into the file open, into the PC Link, which I have open on my laptop right now. We're going to go into open, and then we're going to move into our base map directory. This is the files that Link provides us. We can go in and select any of our options here. Now I have some other things saved in our location, so you may or may not have some of the files, such as these files right here. They're just going to be extra files that I had saved into this location. What we're going to do here is specifically look for our Honda application, so Honda Integra Type R, DC5 G4X Extreme plugin. This is the exact board and box that I'm running here in my vehicle. I'm going to use this file as my starting point, and we can modify from there. So this allows me to not have to worry about setting up every single input and output for their board, because the board's designed around the OEM wiring. This will take all of that into account, which speeds up the setup process. We don't want to go in and select, let's say, a generic Fury map and then set up all the inputs and outputs according to the pinout chart provided from Link for this board. Let's just use the file that's already set up, saving us a lot of time. I'm going to go ahead and grab this file right here, and I'm going to click open, and now we're going to open this up onto our PC Link software. We can see right now it's showing us that's our file loaded here. What we're going to do immediately is create a new folder, a project folder for our vehicle we're working with. This is going to allow us to save the file as a different name,
not overwriting the original file. I always like to save all the original files or leave the original files unedited, so that if I ever go in and let's say I get another K-Series application and let's say it's completely different build than this particular setup we're working with, we don't have to go in and worry about having overwritten the original base file. So we want to go in and create a folder and then save this immediately as a different file name so we don't overwrite this original file. What I'm going to do here is go to File and do Save As. And then here under the folder that we're in here, so C drive, link G4x, PC link G4x, base maps, I'm going to go here and create a new folder for this project. So we're going to say EP3, EPA, EP3 Civic, and that's going to be what I call this particular project folder. And then in here, I'm going to go ahead and save this as base cal. You can save it whatever you like. I'm just saving it as a new name. So now the file that we're editing and modifying is going to be known as...
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.